Hello and welcome to another Warcraft the Audio Commentary. Today we're watching game number 3 from this amazing best of 3. This is amazing. It's good. It's good. For ifeng Cup, also known as the Phoenix Cup. It's a Chinese cup. You can check it out. games.ifeng.com, I believe. Like ifeng.com. It's all in Chinese, so if, I can't read it, but maybe you can. Yeah. This is game 3. Best of 3. Games are being streamed at twitch.tv/pureb at 9 o'clock p.m. EST. You can check them out if you want, or you can check them out on youtube.com/pureb, however you want to do it. Let's introduce our players. We do have Yumiko spawning in as the gray human in the lower left. The map is obviously going to be Secret Valley. And we do have WFZ, one of the coolest undeads, in my opinion. He's a Chinese player, really, really good. Spawning in the upper right as the red undead. Yes, indeed. And what is he doing? He's doing the Ted Fiend build. It's what you expect. Death Knight first, get the Fiends a little bit later. A couple of different ways you can do this. You can do it where you get fast Fiends out. Like you can build your second Ziggurat and then tech and get like a Fiend or two out before you tech. Or you can like get one Fiend out, or you can get like no Fiends out. Like there's like 3, 4, 5 different ways to do it. All slight variations, but they do change the timings a little bit. So you kind of... It's cool. Not really gonna go over him now, but the point is just be aware that he can do different things in the early game with this, and we'll find out which one he chooses. Of course, down here we will see that Yumiko is going for the Archmage again, and this time he's being a little bit less aggressive with the Arcane Towers. It's still aggressive, you know, it's right here. It gives it a much bigger, like, arc radius attack range, something like that. We'll get covered by it, which is a lot more than it being here or hero. But he's not quite, you know, willing to say, let's put it out here, put it somewhere where it's kind of difficult to defend. That one's, it's still pretty defendable right there, right? And Yumiko's going to begin creeping this out, and he should be able to creep the whole thing as the Death Knight shows up. So his real concern here is keeping the militia alive. The balancing act you're doing here is sending the militia back in time and getting the creep done in time. So... you know, there's different ways to do it. And this time he's done it really fast, and he managed to do everything just fine without the Death Knight even getting there at all. So that is another way to do it. Just do it, like, super fast. Like, super fast. That was really fast. That was, like, way fast. But hey, here we will see that the Death Knight is now up here, and he's just going to go ahead and coil this level 1 null. He does have some skeleton, and he's just going to creep this out as fast as he can. He wants to steal this experience. He doesn't want to give it to Yumiko, because Yumiko wants it. This is the next thing Yumiko wanted to creep. He's like, I want to creep that. That gives me level 2. And WFC said, hey, courtesy. I'm not going to say it at all. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so... I don't know what that... I've been reading about, like, the Dixie Chicks recently. I don't know why. So it's, like, stuck in my head. Like, that whole thing they had, that controversy with, Toby Keith. Or is it... I think that was who it was. I think it was Toby Keith. I don't know. That's totally irrelevant. Anyway, so we can see a little bit of harass going on early game. Notice where he sent his skeletons. He sent one up here, leaving it up there. One thing you can do, you can actually attack this guy just one time with your skeleton before you creeps it. He might not do it. It looks like he's not going to. That's a shame. But you can do that, and he actually will bloodlust one of the creeps, like, before the human even goes up to creep it, right? Which is really cool. And he's got, like, full mana, so he can cast as many as he wants. It doesn't, like, change anything. It just makes it harder to creep it. It's always a shame when undeads don't do it. It's always a shame. But, hey. Because there's no downside. Did he do it this time? He did it this time! Ah, yes, he did it! Yay! Yay! Makes me happy. And looks like the Footman actually killed the Tome of Intelligence instead of letting the Death Knight get it, which is a pretty good move. It's a pretty good move indeed. We will see that the Fiend right here says, I'm just gonna, it's like, I don't want to get surrounded, so I'm just gonna walk through the Fiend. He's like, I don't even care, the Footman, I don't even care. Up here we will see a lot of militia coming up here. That is 2, 4, 6, 8 militia plus 2, 4, 6, 7 footmen, I believe, unless I miscounted. I might have miscounted. Like 7 footmen, 8 footmen, 8 militia, etc. And 1 fiend and 1 Death Knight. Just trying to go ahead and do as much damage as they can. They're severely outnumbered. It's kind of cool, really, that they just come in. They're so fearless and brave. Come into like the face of adversity or something like that. I don't know. He does have backpack, and he did bring over a full charge full rod of necromancy, so you can go ahead and get more skeletons, kind of continue this harass a little bit, and you can take a little bit more damage on this map than you can on most maps because there's a fountain of health like right beside the gold mines. Like there's the only two places you're going to expand is here or here, right? And it's either you're going to expand here and you can use this health fountain, or you're going to expand here and you can use this health fountain. And this goes for both players, so it kind of changes the dynamic of the early game harass just a little bit. Because still, if you do take a lot of damage, you know, you have to like spend the time out to heal, so you're not harassing, etc. So you can't be like completely carefree like that. You can't afford to get surrounded. That's going to force WFZ to pop the teleport scroll, get out of there, and that's going to kind of bring a pretty much abrupt end to this harass. He was doing pretty good all the way up until he got surrounded. That was a shame. But that was a really good play by, of course, Yumiko to get this around. Over here, would you see these fiends? They're going to get scouted by Yumiko. They did kill a sheep. They were hoping to let the Death Knight just come right back in and do some more damage. Over here, we can see some skeletons have been summoned from the Undead player's base, and they're just going to run across the map. Now, Death Knight has to be really careful right now because he doesn't have any items. He just has 3 charges of Rod of Necromancy. Has to be really careful. Over here, we can see Yumiko is just going to creep this out. He says, okay, I only need 2 footmen really in my water elemental, so I'm going to bring everything back to defend because I know I need to, because he's coming. And indeed, he is here with a lot of skeletons, and he did do enough damage onto the Death Knight with the Arcane Tower to make it not be able to coil anymore, and then he's going to focus down these skeletons because he doesn't want to lose too many peasants to skeletons there. And he will go ahead. He does have Boots of Speed on the Archmage. Also has a Talisman of Evasion, a really nice item, of course, giving you 15% evasion right here. If I can, actually, I can just do this, can I? Yeah. Which shows you just 15%, that's a lot. It's like level 1 evasion from the Death Knight. Really good item to have. Not the best on the Archmage, really, just because 2 reasons. One, the Archmage's major concern is nukes, which take out most of his life, and Talisman of Evasion doesn't help him at all in that regard. And 2, Talisman of Evasion is something that the more life you have, the more effective it is, and he's very low HP here. I mean, level 3, it's 600 HP with a Gauntlets of Strength, plus 3 Strength. I mean, he's a very low HP hero, right? So it's not a bad item to give to like a Mountain King, maybe a Paladin, probably not the Paladin, probably the Mountain King. But it's better than nothing. It's worth the item slot if you don't need it for something else on the Archmage. And indeed, we're just going to go ahead and see a little bit of harass coming in from Mr. Yumiko onto WFZ's base, and he's going to try to do some damage. We'll see a Spirit Tower. It's already been upgraded. We're almost finished now, which is going to help defend against this. And he's going to need the help because he definitely went for pretty quick tier 3. In fact, he's going to get to tier 3 right at 8 minutes, it looks like. Up here we can see that the Archmage is going to be in a bad spot. He's going to be forced to TP out of here, which maybe he wanted to do? I don't know. It's not a terrible spot, actually. He's helping against the wall. He's got like part of this surrounded by the statue, so he's not taking a lot of damage. Just getting low enough that he doesn't die to nukes, and then going to go ahead and TP out of there. Didn't do a lot of damage, but he did buy time, which again, that's what you want to do, especially when you can look at the life, or the experience, I'm sorry, on these heroes. Level 1 on 2 undead heroes. That's not great. That's not ideal. That's not what you want. He's going to have to be very low on gold right now because he had to run all those acolytes around. But he has to get the Orb of Corruption, so he buys that. So he doesn't have any skeletons either. Of course, he does have backpacks, so next Fiend out or something, he can get a Rod of Necromancy and like come over with it, but he's going to be getting Destroyer upgrade next. And then he probably wants to get the Dark Ranger. It could be a while. He might have to run back to base if he does want to get a Rod of Necromancy. And even if he does, he's not going to have the gold for a little while, and he doesn't have very much on the level, so he has to make a decision. Do I creep or do I go for this expansion? And it looks like he wants to go for the expansion. Kind of a risky move, again, because he's so low on level. But it's not necessarily the wrong move, right? Because you know that Yumiko, ooh, what is he doing? He's running to the tavern. Is he going to get like a Mountain King second? No, he got a Panda. Ooh. Well, there you go. Panda second for Yumiko. That you don't see against Undead. You don't really see that. Yeah. That's kind of, okay, that's cool. So I'm not sure what his strategy is. I mean, this is game 3. This is 1-1. This is on the line. So Yumiko is not just like playing around. He's done this for a reason. You don't underestimate WFZ. WFZ's a really good player. So what is his strategy? And it looks like his strategy is to do a lot of harassing. You know, if you think about it, you can't leave your base on its own against the Panda. You can't do it. Because the Panda is really good. He's a strength hero, so he carries the Talisman of Evasion really well. Of course, he has Drunken Baller, and it doesn't stack with that, but he doesn't usually get that. He usually goes like Breath of Fire and then Haze. which would be really good against Acolytes if he's trying to do like a base type thing. I don't know. We'll see. He's done a lot of damage to that Black Citadel, but not critical amounts. And we will see him trying to go ahead and just losing some footmen in the back right there. And just leaving everything here just to get cleaned up by the Undead player. It's like, you know, you don't have a lot of experience, so I'll just give you some, because I feel bad about it. That's probably what was going on right there. That's all that was. That's all it is. A little bit of friendly mannerism. Meanwhile, Yumiko will take some of the close green camps. Kind of easy enough to creep with 2 heroes. He could creep with the water elemental. Yeah, he didn't quite have the mana, just had to wait for it. Once he gets that out, he can creep a little bit more tough creeps, but this is still a little too tough, probably. At least he would take a lot of damage creeping it, so probably wouldn't be worth it. And meanwhile, we're going to see Mr. WFC saying, okay, well, my base is secured now, for at least the moment, and I'm going to come over to your expo and do some harass. Go straight for those peasants. Now, here's the thing. These are interesting farms. Of course, you can see what they do right off the bat. It makes it very hard to get these towers with fiends. You can see kind of how, like, there's, like, choke points and stuff. Just by removing that one tower, or that one farm, it makes these towers a lot more vulnerable. Although, again, with that farm being there, it's still a big blocking thing, and he's still going to just find the shop's a lot easier of a target and kind of more important, right? Because if the human hero is here and he's like trying to, like, I don't know, live or something, he could just buy a potion of healing when he gets a round of nukes on him and use that. But without it, he can't do that, and so it's a lot harder to actually keep him in the base right there. Over here, we're going to see the Panda has picked up a Bloodlust, which means we do have Spellbreakers coming in here. He's going to use those really effectively. It's a huge Panda, huge Archmage, and I'm trying to not sneeze. So, oh, I'm going to take a drink of water. Allergies suck. They really do. Oh, I'm on like 2 allergy medicines right now, and it's helping, but it's not like, it's not helping enough. Oh well. Anyway, so we can see the Town Hall. He has taken some damage, but he's trying to take out this Town Hall. He's killed quite a few peasants. He's stopped the mining. That's all critical, good things to do. But meanwhile, Yumiko's creeping up, and he's actually going to use the Destroyer in a really effective manner right now. Has to be careful enough to not get ensnared. That's kind of important. But do some harass. Why not? There's really no reason not to. You can see he does a lot of damage when he's actually got this mana on him, and he can just like keep eating stuff, the mana stuff, from the Bloodlust and the Water Elemental. There, you're gonna get a lot of what's it called, mana, and also you get some health back when you do that. When you like devour magic, you get like 25 hit points and like 50 mana, I believe, for like each magic thing you devour, so it's kind of cool. Of course, when he doesn't have the orb, it doesn't do nearly as much damage, and it looks like we're going to see Yumiko just creep right on over here to the mosey on over to the Fountain of Health. He's going to come down and defend this. He might. We'll see level 3 finally being picked up by the Death Knight, very close behind at level 2 and like 8/10. The Lich is sitting at. He's very close to level 3. And as the Undead runs away, we're just going to see the Yumiko player coming right back up here into this Fountain of Health. Really, this is a stalemate. He's going to go ahead and just wake up the creeps with his Mr. Destroyer guy. And then come in here for the base. Again, why not? Kill the base. That's what you do. You know, your opponent's creeping up here, just kill the base. That's the strategy. That's the way to play. So we can see level 3 on the Lich right here. Just getting that from killing all these peasants right now. Doing a lot of damage. You know, when you think about it, 75... Look at all those corpses. Those are 75 gold each for Yumiko. That's a lot of gold. I mean, that looks like 10 corpses. That's like 750 gold. Around 1,000, really, if you want to round up, because that's been done just because he's killed so many peasants right there at that expansion. He's done a lot of damage as well. He had to repair, so he's not mining. So he's getting like, it's definitely doing a lot of damage to the economy of Yumiko. And we'll see the Dark Ranger being picked up as the 3rd hero choice for WFC. Over here we can see some flying machines entering the fray. We do have an Abomination as well. We have Abominations are really good against Spellbreakers, but we also have some Militia coming into the fray. Another thing is that Fiends aren't the best unit against the Panda, because it does AoE. Now, if there's only the AoE coming in from the Panda, it's not as bad, but again, it's still bad. We're going to see that Panda taking a lot of damage, but he does have a lot of survivability items. And we're actually just going to go ahead and see the Archmage TPing out of there, saying, no, I don't even want to fight. And actually, he might have saved that Spellbreaker. He might not have. I don't think he did. Yeah, he didn't. It died. That was another case where, like, you see the unit TP, but it dies anyway. It dies when it gets there. It dies on arrival. Death on arrival. Yes, that's what it is. Death upon arrival. kind of morbid. But hey, it's a bug in Warcraft 3. At least it looks like a bug. But, whatever. So that happened, and now you're just going to see Mr. WFZ taking this fight. He wants to use the Fiends in a very effective way. Would like to pick off those flying machines, ideally. They cost a lot of wood. You don't want to just let your opponent have a ton of them. And we're going to try to keep those Fiends alive. Does have 2 0 attack upgrades on the Fiends. No upgrades on the Spellbreakers or the Abominations. Of course, not on the flying machines either. And we're just going to see... Well, it does have Web and Backpack, so I guess if you count those as upgrades, they technically are. The Fiends are somewhat upgraded. Or, the Abomination. Yeah, wait, no, I said the Fiends are upgraded. Wow, I am just being bad today. Anyway, we will see the Water Elemental now. He's running down to the bottom of the part of the base. We will see that this is a great little expansion. It has taken a lot of damage, though. It's got a lot of Spellbreakers right here. We finally see an upgrade, which is going to be 1 attack up, or 1 armor upgrade for the Spellbreakers. 1 armor, bringing them up to 5 armor. Of course, over here,
a town is under siege.
Going on. Nothing too major going on at the Undead player's base. At Yumiko's expansion, we can see peasants. We're waiting for the fight, and here comes the start of that fight. It looks like this is not really... I'm not sure what WFZ is doing. He kind of like turns around to attack and then backs up a little bit. He's decided to attack and then he's going to back up. I mean, he has an Abomination, which is really good against these Spellbreakers. Unfortunately, it has been slowed, which is going to decrease his effectiveness by quite a bit. You're going to see the Panda taking a lot more damage as well. He's very close to level 3. He's only 2 experience away. We'll pick that up with the Breath of Fire, picking off a Fiend. And of course, he did pop that potion of Lesser Invulnerability. And when that ended, he popped the Potion of Greater Healing. Why not? It's a good way to bait like nukes and stuff when you're like out of a full HP hero. It's a little bit risky if you're not good, but if you are good, it's a good way to do it. Let's see a lot of these units dying, but really Yumiko is just kind of winning this fight, and the longer it goes, the better his chances are. I mean, the Panda's doing work too. You just see like how many units are like half HP. He just keeps Breath of Fire because he can. He's got Brilliant Sword. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all these low HP units. Gonna see 2 things going down. Maybe a 3rd right here. Maybe even a 4th. WFC is gonna have to think about transitioning out of the Fiends. They're just not working against this Panda. He will try to go for the kill, but oh, a potion of Lesser Invulnerability will get passed over. Oh, the Dark Ranger gets picked off too by a Breath of Fire.
A player's forces are under
Rest in
attack.
peace, Dark Ranger. I am curious. Like, will he decide to transition out of the Fiends because they're not that great? No, it looks like he wants it to. He wants to use them. I'm not really sure what the alternative is. I mean, obviously you could say, well, it's it's destroyers and it's abominations, but that's like those are pretty costly units. It's hard to get a lot of those. You can get like a couple of those, but it's hard to mass them, right? Problem is, the Panda still has mana. He can just cast another Breath of Fire right now.
Forces are under attack.
He's not going to. He's going to wait for a better position. Because why not? He's got like a ton of space to regenerate mana. There's no rush to spin the mana, right? So just going to let that heal up with the Brilliant Aura. And of course, this is such a diverse army from the Yumiko, and if you think about it, right? Because he's got like air dominance when you have all those flying machines. Of course, they get picked off and stuff, but it's just cool. It's just cool. It is so cool because this is such a good army. I mean, casters make it so you have to have destroyers. The flying machines counter to the destroyers, but make you kind of need the Fiends. And the Spellbreakers are there just because you can't nuke them. They're just little dicks. They burn your mana when they attack you and stuff. They're just really good units. And they make you need Abominations, or ghouls if you want. Of course, the problem is with the Panda, he just rips through Fiends. He really does. He just rips through them. So it's a really versatile army, I think, from Yumiko here, and it works. At least it's working pretty well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he can win with just Fiends. Well, he's not got just Fiends, but like with his big Fiend heaviness, he could if he can nuke down that Panda, and if he has to burn through a lot of items though. And there's 2 shops on this map to get potions of Lesser Invulnerability items from, so I don't know. I do know the Panda is like the high priority target, and he wants to keep picking off these flying machines where he can. That's really, really good for him. He can't afford to lose the destroyers. in the fight, or in the game, or on the map, whatever you want to call it. He needs to have at least 1 or 2 destroyers. We'll see this Abomination getting surrounded by Spellbreakers, but to trade that, it's going to be Abominations for flying machines. I think Yumiko probably came out ahead right there. And he's going to back away. He has to keep affording to back up. He can't just stay there and fight with that Panda. It just does too much fire damage. Way too much. And he's going to come in here for another breath. Right now, there it is. That one wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad. Still forcing, just keep forcing Mr. WFZ to go back, to run away. And now he's got slow on his units. And he just, oh, that was a brutal fire right there. And that's the power of it. It just keeps whittling you down. And you say, oh, well, you have statues. They have this AoE heal. They don't come close to out healing the amount of damage coming in from this breath of fire. So WFZ, I don't know. He's backing away. He's on the backup. We're going to see that Panda hitting level 4 with another brutal breath of fire, taking down another Fiend, doing a lot more damage. You can just see these Fiends trying to get out of the way. He's like, no, move. That's what I think Fiends sound like. The Death Knight is in a little bit of trouble. He is actually, is he surrounded? He's not surrounded, but he is slowed. He's trying to get out of here. He doesn't have any way to TP or anything, but wow, he will get out of that. That was close. And Yumiko, feeling pretty satisfied with killing like everything, decides to run away. Yeah, and so there he is. Oh shit! Oh man, that was bad. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't spill cups. I actually just finished drinking it, so it was empty. Which is unfortunate because I'm out of water now. Down here we can see Yumiko is at the health fountain, going to creep up. Both players are choosing to creep right now. It's a good time to creep. It's a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a gag. Interesting look at the gold mine situation. Both players are out of their original gold mines, and Yumiko is sitting here with 2k left in that gold mine. 400 gold saved up in the bank.
A player's force.
Ooh, not too good for WFC. He's got 100 gold in the bank. He's trying to get his haunted gold mine right there. And if he has to fight right here, he's gonna lose it. So he's like gonna have to be really careful here with how he runs across the map. He needs to keep Yumiko from checking over there. And that's gonna be important. And he's gonna have to buy a lot of time. If he can kill the Panda doesn't have any like potions or anything on him right now, so he is kind of vulnerable. But this is not a good position for WFC. He's gonna be forced to pop a destroyer just to start getting rid of some of that those slows and such. And he needs to use it, but they're going to be useful units. They do a lot of damage. We're going to see level 2, level 3 being picked up by the Dark Ranger in the back. Just seeing WFC just kind of walking away, losing a lot of stuff. Yumiko's in a pretty good spot. I mean, I don't... It doesn't look good, right, for WFZ right now. It doesn't look good at all. And we're just going to go ahead and see him having some trouble coming his way. He's holding on as long as he can. We actually have some peasants down here repairing the flying machines. Another... Ooh, that was actually really nice. That Crypt Fiend just barely living. He's like screaming at the top of his lungs right now. Freaking out. Over here we can see this expansion actually going to finish. Which is insane. It's like Yumiko just doesn't know what's up. Just hasn't scouted it. WFZ is doing a great job distracting him in the middle of the map. I mean, literally, if you can distract him. I mean, if Yumiko doesn't realize that there's an expansion up. And the thing is the way WFZ was playing, he was playing like, I'm over here. He's like, I don't care if you check over there at my gold mine. It's empty, right? So, I don't know. Will this deception actually work is the question. How long will that gold mine stay up for? Because if WFZ starts making units, then Yumiko knows. So will he just bank up? Will he try to hide his production? Stay tuned. The next 5 minutes will tell us, I guess. Because in 5 minutes, it's very well possible that WFC ends up with an army that can actually win. In 5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes is a long time, right? I mean, we're only at 24 minutes in the game. So 5 minutes, if he can hold this out for 5 minutes, he could probably win the game. But if he can't, I don't think he's going to. I see another Fiend going down. It's despair. Oh, it's despairing to watch this. We're going to see if that was good. Silence the Panda. Why not? Going to see the slow Getting eaten off by a destroyer. Unfortunately, an immediate recast of slow on that Dark Ranger. Is there enough mana for a coil? Not quite. Oh, it's so close. Will it? Oh. The critical strike. Critical strike from the Panda. Oh, that's unfortunate. There is some production coming out, not a lot. There's one unit. This could be a ghoul, could be a fiend. Will Yumiko read that as an expansion? He should. He should. There is one up. He very much should read that as an expansion. And it looks like he did. Maybe no. What is he? No. What are you, Yumiko? No. Okay, he's gonna scout with his flying machines. He saw it. He saw the blight. He saw it. So yeah, there's some stuff here, but it's not a lot of stuff, right? This is looking pretty good for Yumiko. It's gonna immediately unsummon, just run away the acolyte, saying screw it, recover as much gold as possible. You know, and Yumiko, the more damage you do to it while it's being unsummoned, the less gold the undead player gets. This is a really good army for Yumiko. It's, look at the food counts. We can see Yumiko sitting at 69 food. Nice. And WFZ sitting at 44. Yeah. And both players are out of gold income. Yumiko has 691 gold. Well, I guess he's probably long distance, but no, he's not. Is he? Maybe. He's getting ready to start. He might even... Actually, he's going to build an expansion. He's got plenty of gold. That's 700 gold. He can just build an expansion right here. Power build it. No problem. And WFZ is on his last leg, really. He could creep this out, maybe try to like hide the expansion there, maybe. Maybe. He doesn't really have any gold, he'd have to sell items. He doesn't have a lot of items to sell. None of these items you really want to sell in this situation. Keeping your Lich alive, very important. He does want to get level 5 on both of these heroes, though. If he does, if he manages, he's very, very close. He might be able to nuke down the heroes, maybe? I mean, he could definitely kill the Archmage, but it does have the Potion of Greater Healing, so he needs to kill the Panda. But he has the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability now. Ooh, and there's going to be 2 towers coming up down here for Yumiko. It's looking good. It's looking really good for Yumiko. To have a couple acolytes over here. Will he sell items, unsummon buildings, do something to get an expansion up? Potentially. We'll see. There's a water elemental on his way over here to scout to find out what is going on. I don't know. I would say that... Oh, he did get level 5. Yeah, that's true. He did go ahead and kill some stuff up there. Up here. The remaining creeps. Picked up a great item. Warsong Battle Drums. Good item. He did sell the Pair-Ups of Vitality for the Lich. Will he go for an expansion now? I think he can. Potentially. I don't have a clue. But he's going to come down here and he's going to actually take the fight. Yumiko is mining. He doesn't have time. He's run out of time. He has to go for it. And he does have a lot of mana, a lot of levels. Level 2, level 5 heroes. Really good heroes to have. High levels. He's going to just go ahead and start nuking down the Panda just a little bit. And, you know, he doesn't have any destroyers. So those slows are going to be really brutal. You can just see brutals. You can't really run away when there's like a Panda chasing you and you have like all your units slowed. It's really hard to. And these flying machines are doing good. We can't see an Undead expansion at the top center of the map, but that's just going up right now, and it's very unlikely to finish unless he can win this fight. And if he wins the fight, then he probably wins the game anyway. But he's so severely food counted right now. His only goal is to kill some heroes, and we're going to see that going invisible, and there's no way to get rid of that invisibility. He doesn't have a dust, he doesn't have a destroyer to eat it, he has nothing. And the Dark Range is going to go down to another crit. Look at that, 138 damage. Yeah, so I think that's the GG. Yeah, GG from WFC. What a game. Good game. Game 3. So Yumiko does win 2-1 with the Panda, of all things, as the second hero. Worked out really, really well for him. 30-minute game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, these games are streamed at twitch.tv/PRB, so feel free to check them out as they're being cast. You can talk to me in chat, and in between games, I'll respond. I don't read chat during games because I'll get distracted. It's bad. So as usual, I'm just gonna stay for a couple minutes after the game has been cast to talk in chat. If anyone wants to talk, you don't have to, but if you want to, you know, I'll be there. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.